Testing, testing, testing. Let's see if I'm live. It says I'm live on YouTube. Okay. I don't know if that's true or not. I wonder how you see if you're live. Okay, it says I'm live. Okay. Well, I'm live. So let's see if this dropped. Yep, it dropped. Okay. So let's see how I can share my screen. This one. Hey, there we go. Cool, cool, cool. All right. So we got Boston Calling Music Festival in beautiful Harvard at their athletic complex is happening on May 23rd through the 25th. So we got the lineup. Yeah, so we got the lineup. Let's review it. This is exciting, isn't it? Um, so we got on Friday, the 23rd. Sorry, I'm just getting some text messages. It doesn't look like anybody's really looking right now, anyways. How do I share? All right, so it's showing me live. That's pretty freaky. Um, all right, I'm just taking care of a couple things real fast before I start talking. Um, but it looks like we got our Boston Calling lineup. Holy cow! So Monday, today's Monday the 6th, I believe. Oh, Katie's watching. Hello, Katie. Shout out, Katie. It doesn't show you're watching. That's so weird. I don't know how this is working and all. This is me just testing this out. Live feature with Riverside. Um, Obviously, I'll learn more as time goes on, but for today, it looks like this is what we got. So let's go through it. We're going to talk about Boston Calling Music Festival. Happy 2025, if I didn't say that already. But we already have had a number of lineups already drop in 2024 for 2025. And this is the first, well, I think it is the first lineup that we're getting in 2025 for this upcoming May. And then on Wednesday, I'll be going live again for the reaction of Bonnaroo's lineup. So I'm looking forward to that one. I know that's a really big deal. There's a lot of people and a lot of buzz going on about that one. But enough about what's going on in the future. Let's just talk about today. Right now, we got Boston Calling right here in front of me. And it's a little bit better than last year's lineup. After just a couple glances at it, I really haven't delved into it yet. But last year's lineup, if you did not know, it went very pop. It had like Ed Sheeran headline. Usually this is like a rock and roll indie rock kind of fest, and yeah, they really took a pop kind of stab with the music festival. And I know that they took a big blow from that. They were kind of doing some damage control posting right as New Year's Day came in, and they were posting about how they're changing some things to actually, please the fans. So really happy about that. I know that this festival has had good moments, and I know that this festival has also had bad moments. Uh, it's exciting that I know that they have added like a revolving stage, which is so they've been using this stage since like I think like when we were young, and Sick New World debuted in Vegas. So basically, on the front of the stage while a band is playing, they're setting up another stage or they have a backside of the stage, which is where they're setting up the next band that's going to be performing. So once that band finishes, the turntable will revolve, revealing the next band that's about to play. So it makes it easier for like set times to be, uh, you know, kind of easier instead of having to like break everything down and then build everything up for the next act, which usually takes like quite a bit of time. So Boston Calling utilizing that stage is going to be really nice, and it's going to help with their time issues and stuff that they're having the last couple of years. But let's get into this lineup. So it looks like Friday we have Luke Combs, who's a country act. He's the main headliner for Friday. And we got Megan Moroney. We got Sheryl Crow. Sheryl Crow is really awesome to see live. T-Pain, awesome to see live as well. TLC, they got some throwback hits. It's not the full group, but it's still a good time. This Mike Period person, I know people saw him last year at Bonnaroo and were saying good things about him. So I'll have to look up more about him. I don't really know too much about Mike. The Sacred Souls, awesome get there. They're kind of like a funk indie group. They've got some really good songs that are feel good kind of vibes. I would put them in the not in the same category, but in more or less kind of the same category as like Krogman. They just or more like jungle. I would say it's more like jungle than Krogman. But moving on, we got Max McNuln. We got Will Dorado. I love Will Dorado. They're pretty awesome. Infinity Song. Don't know who that is. Kyle Dion. Don't know who that is. It looks like there's a lot of them that I don't really know on this first day, so I'll have to check out some of these bands for myself. I always love reading into the lower cards of the music festivals to kind of get an idea of who's kind of on the up and coming. It's interesting how Spotify and Apple Music, their algorithms have been kind of more or less kind of lacking lately, and they haven't really been doing a good job pushing bands onto like your Discover Weekly playlist or anything like that. So it's kind of hard to discover new music lately. It's just kind of the algorithm feeding you the same thing that you always like to listen to. And I'm not a big fan of that. I like to dig deep and find new things on my own. So, and it's good to see, new bands on a poster, like new names. It gives me, new life and new love for these acts. You never know who's going to be the next big thing or the next big catchy act or whatever, who's going to put on a great show. So I'll definitely check out some of these lower card acts for Friday. Moving on to Saturday, it looks like we got some emo throwbacks with Fall Out Boy and Avril Lavigne. Great picks. He was a skater boy. I'll see you later, boy. Wow. Holy crap. Hold on. So Cage the Elephant, why are they on the second? So Avril Lavigne is booked above Cage the Elephant. That's absolutely insane to me. I believe they deserve headliner status actually, because they're really amazing to see live. If you were there at Shaky Knees in 2019, their headline set was honestly heaven sent. It was the most beautiful thing I've ever witnessed. I cried at least 3 times. It was just so beautiful. Uh, if you're a fan of Cage the Elephant, drop something in the chat saying holla because I love you. I love y'all. Cage the Elephant's just an amazing band. We got the Black Crows, another band that seems really low. They shouldn't be on the second line, but they are. Interesting. All time low. And James Bay. James Bay on the third line. Are you kidding me? Is that the right guy I'm thinking of right now? Let me look real quick. James Bay. Okay, no, it's not. I don't think it is who I was thinking of. Okay. It's not who I was thinking of. So, but still, he still has 10 million something monthly listeners and whatnot. So that's pretty huge. And for him to be on the third line, that seems a little weird. But I mean, this day is extremely stacked. Saturday, so many great acts right there. We got the Maine as well, another throwback emo rock band. And then from there, I don't really recognize any of these names. So again, I'll have to check them out and look into it. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna have to look into some of those. So let's move on to Sunday. Ooh, we got Dave Matthews Band. Can we just move on? I mean, I get it. Dave Matthews, he's got a big following, but who at Harvard Athletic Complex or Harvard University in Boston is going to be excited for Dave Matthews Band? Unless there's like a trend with him, like with this band making a comeback, or they're big on TikTok or something that I'm not aware of. Yeah, it just seems really weird to still consider these guys like a headliner. Like I would take Cage the Elephant over Dave Matthews Band. Um, but I mean, you can throw hate at me in the comments if you want about that comment that I just made. But Vampire Weekend, that's a move. Vampire Weekend should be the number one headliner spot on this bill. Um, I saw them at Kilby Block Party this past year, and they're on top of their game. They have never sound better. I love their latest record. Um, it's so good. It was ranked in my top 40 for last year as well. Sublime, really cool. I hope it's still with Jacob Knoll. I'm assuming it is, and the original band members, because they were touring around last year, and I got to see them twice. And holy cow, they sound dead accurate to original Sublime. It's pretty amazing. I'm so glad that we get to experience this today. If you do get a chance, please try and see them. Like it's a really good act to catch. Public Enemy also got to see them last year too. Them getting back together and seeing them on lineups again is just kind of unreal and surreal because they kind of had like a down period between Chuck D and Flava Flav. So I'm glad to see that they're back together and I guess they're doing a tour for this year. So I'm imagining that they're gonna be announcing more dates and whatnot. But definitely worth the hype, even if you don't want to believe it. Hint, hint. Some song references there. Don't believe the hype. They're really great. I love their energy. Flavor Flav, he's always a vibe. He's just insane. Yeah, boy, hits you with that. It just pierces your soul. It's so good. Remy Wolf, great act, indie pop. I think she really blew up last year with her album that she dropped. I really liked her one song. I think it was called Cinderella. It was pretty good. Me and the boys in the hotel lobby. That was like the line on that track. It was really good. But to see her on Boston Calling, that just it feels good. It feels good knowing that this festival is kind of returning to its roots, at least on Sunday here with Vampire Weekend, Sublime, and Remy Wolf. It's interesting that they're throwing in more hip hop acts, even like country. I know that they're definitely playing into the emo rock scene with Fall Out Boy, Avril Lavigne, All Time Low, and the main. So it's interesting to see all these acts that they're kind of booking. It's a little bit all over the place, which is nice. I enjoy it when a festival does it, but they have to do it tastefully. And if it's not spread out good enough, then I don't know. It's just not. It's not going to do well. Kind of like their last year's lineup, which I'll probably pull up after this. But we got Goth Babe, really cool indie. He's like a EDM indie artist, which is really cool. He's like an adventurer, dude. He's like he had a boat and he like sailed around all over. Um, you got to go check out his Instagram. He's always doing something that's very adventurous, and I really admire that about him. I think that's really cool that he's able to do that. I'd probably do the same thing if I had free time and a lot of money. But Tom Morello, here we go. That's what's up. We got some hella throwback rock right there. So, he's the guitarist from Rage Against the Machine. He always puts on a great show. He's a great guy. Um, really blowing it up with the old school rock act here. The 502s, I've listened to them a couple times. I can't remember what genre they are, but I know that they are pretty popular. Spin Doctors, if that's the band I'm thinking of, isn't that like a 90s band? They kind of have that cheesy kind of vibe. Moving on to I Don't Know How, But They Found Me. He he's kind of like indie emo. Like at times it was indie, but then at other times it was very emo. So interesting band. I really enjoyed like their first record, and when they came on the scene and I saw them at Shaky Knees, like they were pretty cool. But now I don't really know their direction and where they've been. And again, for me, it looks like these last few bands, not sure who they are. So I'll have to look them up. And I'm interested to learn all these other bands that are on the lower card. Uh, Boston Calling 2025. In a short note, is it good? Is it bad? Is it ugly? I think it's just right. It's got a good mix of, you know, songs that you can, or bands that have songs that you can sing along to, such as like T Pain, Sheryl Crow. You got like Public Enemy that you can sing along with, Sublime, of course, too. Vampire Weekend. If you were an indie kid in the 2010s, like I was, hipsters as we were called, um, Vampire Weekend is a staple in the indie community. So you'll definitely be singing along to all those songs if you grew up listening to them. KG Elephant too. They have a lot of great songs to sing along to. Fall Out Boy, Avril Lavigne. They have good songs too to sing along to. So all in all, like a lot of the top to mid, I would say the first like 2 to maybe 2.5 lines are pretty solid, and the bottom half, like I said, I can't judge because I don't know any of these just off of looking at their name. I'm usually pretty well versed in knowing artists and who's up and coming in the scene, but it's been a little bit tougher lately to predict trends and stuff because of TikTok and whatnot. But I try and stay active on the scene and following along with my phone. I'm chronically online. It's an illness, I swear, but it is what it is. But ultimately, what would I rate this on a scale of 1 to 10? Surprisingly, I'd rate it a little pretty high. I'd give it probably like maybe like a 6.5 to a 7. I'd give it a 7, honestly, because there's just a lot to like, at least for Saturday and Sunday. But at the same time, there's a lot that I don't like. Like Dave Matthews Band, I'm sorry. If you're a Dave Matthews band fan, just turn away for a moment or just don't listen to me, because I've never liked them. I don't really like their sound. And as I've grown to know them more, I didn't know that they've done like crazy things and all that other kind of stuff. So I know that a lot of people do like them and they enjoy them live. So good for you. I'm glad that you enjoy it. But for me, it's just not for me. I respect that you like them, but again, it's just not for me. So you get some points taken away there for that. But compared to last year's lineup to me was just such a change in pace for them. And uh, even if you compare 2023 to 2024's lineups, like it's a huge change between those lineups. I wonder. Since I'm done reviewing this, I'm gonna go ahead and I'll look and see if they have past lineups or anything like that. Or I'll just do a quick Google search. Let me see. Boston Calling. Oops, that's not what I needed. Boston Calling. Let's do 2024. And then let's do images. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I do not know actually. This lineup. Nah, I think I'm gonna stick with what I was saying. This is definitely less than the other one, but there are some standout acts, and they usually have standout acts. So let's go ahead. I'll screen share on that real quick. So we got 2024's lineup, just for reference. 2024 had Ed Sheeran, Leon Bridges, Tyler Childers, Trey. We had Krogben, Frank Turner and the Sleeping Souls, the Red Clay Strays, the Killers, Hozier, Megan Thee Stallion, the Revivalists, Lovejoy, and blow up artist of 2024, Chappelle Roan or Chappelle. Is it Chappelle or Chapel? I don't know. Chappelle Roan. She was a breakout star for the year, so that was a big get for them. She's probably like headline worthy now for the crowd that she draws. Royal Otis, they had a blow up year last year too, so that's cool seeing them on here. But prior to knowing most of that information, looking at this lineup, I'm sorry, it's definitely like a 3 on my book compared to this year's lineup has a good mix of like throwback and new. And it's interesting that 2010s is now looking more like a throwback than current. Um, Most of these are actually throwbacks for headliners, other than Luke Combs. Luke Combs is more newer / recent, I would say, within the past 10 years. So I consider that newer to be a headliner. But yeah, comparing this lineup to 2025, something like this. And then I should pull up 2023's even just to show you the severe jump that it had. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Where is the poster? How can I find a good poster here? It's no contest. Like seriously, no contest. Yeah, I don't know why it's so zoomed in, but I'll share this one just for a moment. Yeah, so this is 2023's lineup, and look at this jump from that lineup to 2024. It's just insane. um, just absolutely insane to me. It's hysterical, actually. It's so funny how it's changed so much because they had Foo Fighters, the Yeah Yeah Yeahs, the National, Chelsea Cutler, Teddy Swims, the Beaches. You had the Lumineers, Alanis Morissette. You had Noah Kahan right before he had his like big blow up. The Flaming Lips, Mount Joy, Fletcher, the Clan McKenna. We had Joy there too. The Aces, Loveless, I mean, come on. And Paramore and Queens of the Stone Age, like, oh my, and King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard, right there, and Bleachers, the Walkman, dude. This is a 10 out of 10 lineup. Okay, this is a good lineup. Genesis Owusu, wow, I I'm speechless. I mean, this is a 10 for someone like me. I think that this is what Boston Calling was known for. They would get really big acts like in rock and roll and indie and psychedelic rock and bring it all together for an amazing Memorial Day weekend. Um, and you know what? Let's tickle it. Let's take it another step further and go to 2022's lineup if that even happened. Did it happen? It looks. Oh wait, yeah. So 22 didn't happen. That's right. I remember now. Did 21? Was there a 21? Yeah, they didn't have a 21. So I guess we'll have to go all the way back to 2019. Wow. This COVID, man, threw everything off. Okay, 2019. Let's pull this one up just for giggles, you know. I got it right here on this website. Hey, get out of here, ad. All right. So let's go back to 2019. We have 21 Pilots, Greta Van Fleet, Churches, Lord Huron, Christine and the Queens, Tank and the Bangas, Mura Massa, Yaji, Gang of Youths, Turnstile. Wow, they are so low on this bill. That's crazy to me. Pale Waves, Bare Hands. We also have Tame Impala, Odessa, Anderson Paak and the Free Nationals, Hozier. We have King Princess, Mitski, Denzel Curry, Little Nas X, Snake Hips. We had Princess Nokia, the Betty Who, Superorganism. I wonder whatever happened to them. We had Shame, Pile, White Reaper. We had Travis Scott, Logic, Brandy Charlie, Sheck West, Rainbow Kitten Surprise, Guster, Chromeo DJ set, Chromeo. We also have, so I guess Snake Hips did 2 performances. That's kind of cool. Snail Mail, Cautious Clay, Rolling Blackouts, Coastal Fever. Love them. And Skeggs. Skeggs on there too. See, to me, again, another 10 out of 10 lineup. Like the diversity of this bill and the booking is just absolutely stellar. And it screams that this is at Harvard. Like, this is totally for college people. This year's lineup, however, I mean, Dave Matthews Band. I'm sorry, that doesn't really scream Harvard to me. You know, like a bunch of college bros jamming out to Dave Matthews Band just seems kind of cringe. But I'll, like I said, I'll digress myself. That's just my opinion. I'm very opinionated about Dave Matthews Band as a headliner in today's world. But yeah, if this was a lineup today, it would cost the festival millions and millions and millions of dollars to be able to pull this together. They definitely don't have the same budget that they had back in 2019. It's very apparent. But they're still listening to the fans. They're trying. They're working things out, and they have, this lineup for us here for 2025. So I'll stick with what I gave it. I'll give it a 7. I still think there's a lot to enjoy on this lineup. And, let me know what you think down in the comments or wherever about this year's lineup after comparing some of the past lineups and whatnot. What's your opinion? Did you go to Boston Calling? If you went to Boston Calling, hit me up. Tell me about your experiences. Either comment about it or you can email me at crispyreviews2020@gmail.com. Okay. Yeah. But I think that's going to do it for me as of now. We're at a solid 30 minutes. Good stuff. Good stuff. So thanks for tuning in, and stay right here on Crispy Reviews Podcast. Check it out. We got Bonnaroo coming up on Wednesday. I'll do another live podcast, and I'll try and push out a web links and stuff so you can be able to tune in. I'm pretty sure that's going to be announced at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Central Time, and of course, if you're on the West Coast, it's going to be like 9 a.m. your time. So it's nice that you guys get the lineup at 9, right? I got to wait until 11. That's so long. But anywho, happy 2025 to you. And yeah, more to come. Lots more to come. Golly, dude, a lot more to come. So stay right here with Crispy Reviews and keep it crispy.